Welcome back to In the Car with Bark as I nearly rear end some trailer that's going 20 miles an hour on the highway. My way or the highway. This time I'm going to record my pod. Freddie D. Hey, what's up? I gotta tell you, the new worst thing about getting older, in my eyes, in my opinion today, is sleep. Like, it's really easy for me to fall asleep, which pisses my wife off quite a bit. I can lay down and go to sleep in like 7 seconds. If I lay down and close my eyes, I will pass the fuck out in no time. But my God, I wake up like just the worst times of the fucking day. I wake up. Let me fix this real quick. There's a lot of traffic today. But I wake up at 3 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I know some of you out there are like, oh, I wake up at 6 a.m. every day. Good for fucking you. Fucking great. Fantastic. Congratulations. You just got a fucking participation ribbon. I wake up at 7 every day. If I can make it that long. Typically, I cannot. Typically, I wake up at 3, 4, or 5 and struggle to get back to sleep and so on and so forth. But that is the biggest pain in the ass, man. Like, I've got kids, 6 years old, 9 years old, and they're always coming to my bed, especially the 6-year-old. 9-year-old's not that often. 6-year-old, all the time. I'll wake up at 3 a.m. with a sore shoulder because I'm compensating for him laying beside me. It's very frustrating. Extremely frustrating. Sucks. Just gonna say it. It sucks. But it is what it is. Definitely the hardest part of getting older. My wife, on the other hand, will lay there and think about all the shit that could happen to her in the future and stays awake all night. But typically, well, no, she's almost as bad as me about waking up at all hours of the night. But when she sleeps, she sleeps. She sleeps. She sleeps. Oh, baby. Yeah, she moves. She moves. The readouts on this are just all over the place. If I get even a little bit louder, it just goes nuts on me. But yeah, sleeping sucks. So I need you guys' help. Me and my dude Pags from MEI Studio, MEI. I'm a redneck. I mean, I'm not a redneck, but I'm from redneck area, so I tend to spit those words out fast. MEI. Somebody's going to be like, what is MEI? Is that something like in a Nelly song? Mama, MEI, MEI, uh-oh. No, MEI Studio in New York. We are looking at podcast ideas, coming up with stuff to talk about musically on Stuck in My Generation. Shameless plug. That's one of my podcasts. And we're thinking about the 90s bands that didn't make it. The 90s bands that split up. The 90s bands that should have went further and did not. And we've got a few, but if you've got any that you think should be on that list for discussion, by all means, shoot them over to me. I just thought of 7 Marry 3 as we were talking about this. I need to get my head in that direction. Like, 7 Marry 3 was not great by any means, but they were okay. It was okay. It was a lot better than Creed and shit. 7 Marry 3. I have become cumbersome. Ooh, yeah. Oh, wait, that's Metallica. The Metallica album sucked, by the way. Critical acclaim, not sure why. Really not. Not understanding, not getting it, whatever. But, since I'm on that topic, music. Man, look at that gray beard. My God. Music. I gotta trim that motherfucker down. I look like I'm going to see this guy too. Got tickets yesterday for me, my wife, and her friend Rachel. Our friend Rachel. Mostly, she's my friend, definitely. I love Rachel. That's my wife's best friend. We are going to see Willie Nelson. And I'm not really like I'm a fan of Willie the Human. I don't really know that much of his music, but I know when I hear his music, like, I don't turn it off. Like, I like Willie. Willie's cool, man. Willie's just that old outlaw country, which I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't even know enough to call Willie outlaw country. I just know that I kind of like Willie Nelson when I hear him come on the radio, because we all put the radio on, right? Yeah. But I like Willie, and I want to be able to say that I saw Willie Nelson. And even though Willie Nelson and Keith Richards will outlive me for sure, I still want to be able to say that I saw Willie play. Rhymes. It's Willie Nelson and John Fogerty, which I'm fine with seeing him as well. Kathleen Edwards, who my dude over at Outlaw Night Shift on YouTube turned me on to. Really like Kathleen Edwards. That's good stuff. I need to trim. It's going to bother me. I'm looking like a billy goat. My man MCA got a beard like a billy goat. Ooh, ooh. See? And there's the regrets. I don't want to regret. My mind just flows like that in weird ways. I want to see Willie because of the things I wish I could have done when I had the chance, like see the Beastie Boys. I wish I could have saw the Beastie Boys. Fuck. I wish I would have saw Alice in Chains before Lane Staley died. I could go watch Alice in Chains now, but I feel like that would be cheating on Lane Staley. And I don't really care for those albums. Like, they're fine. Like, the Alice in Chains albums, they're fine. They're pretty good, but like, knowing it's another singer and just not being the same as what I grew up with, like, I just can't get into it. Even though it's clearly solid music, I just can't get into it. I've seen Pearl Jam. You know, I didn't see Nirvana. That's my fault. I was pretty young, though. I was, 13 when Kurt died? So I didn't even go to my first concert until I was a teen. Older teen. Me and my wife, well, she wasn't my wife then. Obviously, I'm fucking super young. But we went and watched Aerosmith. And, yeah, we're talking about going to watch Aerosmith again. And having, like, you know, complete the cycle there. Because we saw Aerosmith, and our relationship never lasted long. From the age of, like, 17 to 20. Which was, we dated on and off. Very on and off. Like, not consistent whatsoever. And then we lost contact for, like, 12, 13 years. But going to see Aerosmith would be kind of like a full circle deal. Would be good. Would be good. But yeah, I don't want to have any regrets like that. Tom Petty. I wish I could have saw Tom Petty. That's a regret. Rush. I never saw Rush. I never got to slap the bass at a Rush concert. No regrets, folks. You got to find a way to have no regrets. If you've got a band, or you got a person, or you got someone that you would like to see live, you need to go do it. Because life is... I've said it on this podcast a bunch. Life be short, dog. Life be short. Now, these semi-trucks are going to make my life short. They don't get the fuck out of the way. Damn. Watched Mallrats the other day for the umpteenth time, but it's been a long time since I had seen it. Holds up. Holds up greatly. Super awesome show. Started watching Welcome to Wrexham with Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. And that show kicks ass. That is fantastic. Like, between Ted Lasso and these two blokes, they're going to have me giving a fuck about soccer. I had no idea. Like, you hear about the Premier League and you hear about all this shit to do with soccer sometimes, and you don't really understand it. I feel like I'm getting the crazy eye when I go, sometimes. Ooh, crazy eyes. But I never understood it. And watching Welcome to Wrexham, now that I know that, like, the Premier League is like Major League Baseball, and the league below it is like AAA, and below it, you got the pyramid tier, and the very top is the Premier League. Didn't know that, and I didn't know that if you won the championship in one of the lower leagues, you get promoted. I may be off base here, but I think that's how it works. You get promoted to the next league up, and the last place team gets promoted down. And it's like a lot of flippy floppy up the pyramid. I think that's cool as fuck. Like, could you imagine if the Yankees, this is how it was explained in Welcome to Wrexham, but could you imagine if the Yankees lost 100 games, were the worst team in baseball, and got demoted to AAA as a franchise? I would be so into fucking baseball if that was so into baseball. That would be amazing. That would be absolutely fantastic. So soccer has piqued my interest in this way. Like, kind of want to learn more, maybe watch more soccer. Crazy eyes. I look over and I just don't recognize myself sometimes. It's like, who's this fucking middle-aged bearded bastard yelling at me about crazy eyes? It's me, motherfucker! It's me. Oh, I hate editing out water drinks. I took a long drink of water. You'll never know. I edited it out. You might have caught it at the end, but you didn't get the pure glug of amount of water that went down my throat. That's what she said. Who else schedules sex out there? That's a random topic, but I schedule it. Me and my wife, very happy marriage, very, we are 40-year-olds that like to act like we're 20-year-olds, so we typically, 2 to 3 times a week, and I feel like that's healthy, solid amount. Sometimes there's been 4 times a week here and there. Typically 2 to 3. 3 is more accurate, but it is scheduled. I mean, with kids, you don't have the just chance to spontaneously pull out your member and insert it into the member hole. The member hole. You got to pull out your member and deposit it into the member account. Yeah, that's what you do. That's what my parents told me when they had the talk. They said, take out your member and you deposit it into the member hole. Okay, that makes perfect sense to me. I'm gonna go do that right fucking now. But yeah, has to be scheduled. Usually we insinuate a few things through text. The GIFs start getting a little dirty. And eventually one of us is like, yeah, it's going to have to happen tonight. And the other says, I got you. I fucking got you. It's on. Yeah. And then you put on some music, turn on the dim lights, turn on the TV with no volume. Unless you're watching YouTube, you put on the music on YouTube, then the volume's up. Most of the time I just tell Alexa to play me something to fuck to. Alexa, play me something to fuck to. I've never tried that. I'm going to tonight. And she'll end up playing like fucking Mighty Mighty Boss Tones or something. Like da 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 da. I was humming Goldfinger, even though I said Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Tom Buck would be very upset with me. I mentioned Tom way too much, but ska makes me think of Buck now. That's fine. He's fine. He's a very cool guy. He won't mind that I fan out over him a little bit here and there. It's not going to turn into like the Robert De Niro, the fan situation or nothing like that. I just like genuinely nice people, and he's a genuinely nice person. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go check him out. His channel kicks ass. It kicks ass. Now, I will say, I hate, my life, it kind of revolves around the main portion of my life, but then the rest of it revolves around YouTube and podcasting. Like, it's the outer ring of my Saturn, baby. It is the outer ring of my Saturn. This is why I like doing this show. I come up with my own fucking sayings. Podcasting and YouTube is the outer ring of my Saturn. I'll quit being impressed with myself and move on. But it is the outer ring of who I am. And sometimes you run into fellow YouTubers and fellow podcasters and content creators, and you get really impressed for a minute. And you're like, this person's awesome. And you know what? It's always a terrible assumption to make that just because somebody has a solid first impression on you, that means they're just awesome, because it doesn't mean that, and I'm never going to call anyone out on a podcast or anything again. I've been there. I've done that. I learned from that mistake, and I was so fucking in the wrong. It's not even funny. But I did come across a fellow YouTuber, and I was just like, wow. Like, cool. Another person to add to my circle, because the circle of audio people is just awesome. Just awesome. And I was super pumped to like add another one into the into Wrexham, my Wrexham of audio creators. And turns out I was just wrong. Like, not compatible. Not compatible. They were Windows 11 and I was a 2010 PC. Not compatible. Just didn't work out. There's a deer crossing sign and somebody put a red dot on its nose. How fucking brilliant. Fucking need an award. God damn. But yeah, I was so disappointed because every time I think I find somebody that's like awesome, and then they turn out to not be awesome. They turn out to be douchey or queefy or just all around, dickheaded. And that's so disappointing. Like, why do we have to be that way? This sucks. I'm using a new microphone. Don't know what happened there, but my voice went weird. Using a new microphone. I'm using a new microphone. SE V7X. Wanted to see a little more bass or whatever. I was using the CAD D90 handheld dynamic microphone and my little shock mount shit handle setup here. And I gotta show you something, man. Like, if you watch this and you're an audio person, I'm gonna tell you something. If you watch Obscure Mics, you'll probably get some just early hints as to what I'm playing with, besides myself. Woo-hoo-hoo! Schedule that shit too. 4:30. Haven't jerked off in an hour and a half. Penciling myself in. Penciling myself in. Fucking quit flickering, phone. I need to figure that out. Something's not right there. I need a dedicated car camera. Quit flickering. That's so weird to me. It's got to be this app. I don't know what's going on. This thing, man, this is a little Saramonic handheld recorder, SR-Q2M or something like that. Yeah, I got that right. SR-Q2M handheld recorder, mic jack on the back there. This motherfucker will power an SM7B with no issue. Although, it does seem to take away some low end, which doesn't make sense because it powers the V7X without taking away low end. So more research to be done. I may have not been close enough to the mic because I did a really haphazard test of the SM7B with this Saramonic recorder that is metal and plastic and feels so good. It feels like my penis in my hand. That's how good it feels. That's a hot mic. But yeah, this thing's awesome. I cannot wait to review it. Hoping I get the SM7B thing figured out. Maybe I just wasn't close enough because I just sounded a little thin compared to what I know the SM7B sounds like. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a big SM7B fan. I'm actually quite the opposite. Like, it's a great mic. I sound good on it. I put a little processing on it and I sound great on it. But there's just other mics that I like the sound of better. And that just is what it is. Let's take a drink of water together. Everybody now? 1, 2, 3, take a drink. That is some high quality H2O. I made a fun comment the other day. I watched I don't remember if it was like the Super Bowl or the NFL draft. Motley Crue played with John 5, and if you don't know John 5, I think I may be wrong on the first part, but I think he played with Marilyn Manson. He definitely was playing with Rob Zombie, and now he's playing with Motley Crue. Fuck, I don't know why he got let go from Rob Zombie and why he latched on with Motley Crue, but what a sad, like, Rob Zombie I'm not a big fan of, but fuck, to go from Rob Zombie to Motley Crue, God. And I'm not trash talking Motley Crue, like, as a whole. I'm talking about Motley Crue in 2023. And so there's this video of Motley Crue performing, and of course Vince Neil, I think that's his fucking name, is walking around stage singing Dr. Feelgood, but he's like, all right, you know if I feel good, and I was like, I can't understand a fucking word he's saying. And it just popped in my head. So I commented on the video and I cracked myself up. I'm a little bit narcissistic in that way. I make myself laugh. And I said, Vince Neil out there doing his best Farmer Fran. If you don't know who Farmer Fran is, it's the dude from The Waterboy that says, "We live a final day." Like that guy. That's fucking such a great movie. Such a great character. Farmer Fran. Vince Neil out there doing his best Farmer Fran. Absolutely fantastic. And real quick while I'm on that topic, if you didn't know, Tommy Lee likes to go on Twitter and show his cock off. Now listen, I grew up in the era of the Pam and Tommy sex tape. I'm very familiar with it. I may have watched it a time or two. Like, it's amazing what kind of porn you like when you're young. All of it. Then when you get older, you're real picky. And you're like, you're right in the middle of it. You're like, it's not doing it for me. I got to switch. Now I'm just going to pre-cum all over the place. But okay, here's a new one. I go deep, folks. I go deep. But seriously, you get older and your taste, you need what you want. You know, you can't just see any naked female getting pounded and jerk off to it. At least from my experience, like I need some kind of excitement, you know, some kind of either storyline to get me a little amped up, something like that. But anyways, how I went from Tommy Lee's pecker to that is beyond me. I never say pecker. That was weird. But Tommy Lee likes to show off his cock on Twitter, and he's done it like twice now. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck are you trying to accomplish? Like, he's married, and I know he's a rock star, used to be, but he's like, why? Not to mention, it looked like it was photoshopped. Because, yeah, I looked. Of course I looked. My wife told me about it. My wife was looking, and she's like, I'm not going to not look. And I'm like, okay, I feel you. I'm going to check it out and see what he's working with and what I need to figure out on my own to get me up to those standards now that you've seen it. And it looked photoshopped. It looked weird. Very strange dick. Tommy, if you're listening, which I know you're not, but I don't know. I mean, if you're hanging around with Vince Neil going, hey, I feel good. You know, maybe while he's doing that, you're playing drums, you're watching YouTube. Oh, Barks, talking about playing with his penis. Oh, cool, I play with mine too. High five, Tommy. Psh. But, yeah, I don't get it. And I don't get why it looked Photoshopped, but it looked Photoshopped unless he's got like an extra head rim or an upside down rim head. I don't fucking know. It was fucking weird. That's all I'll say. Moving on. I don't need to keep talking about Tommy Lee. But he's a strange dude. He is a strange dude. I haven't seen enough to like act like I know him, pretend I know him, but he's definitely an interesting cat. I don't even know who he's married to these days. But it's just a reminder seeing Vince Neil out there fucking Farmer Fran, and it's a reminder that we're getting old. The people that grew up with that music, we're getting old fucking fast. And it's weird. I can only hope to be Willie Nelson. I can only hope to be chugging along late into life with nary a worry in the world, still out smoking Snoop. Think about that. Think about Snoop. Snoop's old too. Weird shit, man. Oh, Semi, you're too close to me. I guess that's all I've got for today. I need to do this more. I know that I've released episodes consistently, but I also had like a back catalog of recordings done, and I fell way off in the past few weeks, like way off. But I want to do it more. I just feel like I have to have a topic, and I have to like go into it running, but I guess I don't. Like I thought about my lack of sleep and was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to hit record, and we're just going to see what happens. And of course, 25 minutes later, I still won't shut the fuck up. So it works out fine. I mean, it's not like this is some kind of high quality shit. It's just me talking about shit. Good enough for me. Thanks for watching, all 9 to 18 of you an episode. I highly appreciate it. More people watch than subscribe. That's weird. I'm not going to beg for you to subscribe, but it'd be nice. just to have some validation. Maybe I could hit 20 by year's end. I'm on 18 now. Maybe I could hit 20. I'll tell you one thing. Having a microphone channel that is currently humming along at right about 6,000 subscribers, which is more than I thought it would ever be because it is an oddball mic channel. I didn't think there'd be much of a market for it. And don't get me wrong, it's not blowing up or anything like that. And there's plenty of channels audio-wise that have far surpassed my measly 6K in a very short amount of time. But I'm pretty proud of that 6K. And to finish that thought, just because you have potentially 6K to reach out to and say, hey, I do this in the car with Bark shit you should check out, that don't work. They do not follow to your other channels. It doesn't happen. Every video on Obscure Mics has my other productions on it. Nobody comes to any of that shit. And that is fine. They're there for the microphones. They're not here to see me doing this on camera in a car. Love you guys and gals. I bet there's not a single girl watching this, because why would they? You see the thumbnail and you're like, oh god damn.